Hello, hello! I am Fuwa-san, and today I will review the new Hearthstone expansion, the Witchwood. I'll look at each card of the expansion, and I'll try to see if I like the card, if I think the card will be good, and since I mostly like to watch pros play, I'll think about if I want the card to be played in a professional environment. So let's start with the common cards, and our first card is the Swamp Leech. So this is a 2/1 lifesteal for 1, which is sort of powerful as a turn 1 play, but not that much. I think most commons will have this problem, but it's a beast, so with some synergy this could be playable at best, maybe in some combo, but yeah, not that interesting because turn 1 the lifesteal is not useful, and 2/1 is overshadowed by just better cards, I think. So yeah. The next is Swamp Dragon Egg. Death Rattle, add a random dragon to your hand. That's very cool. It's 0/3, so it's hard to pop it yourself if you don't have anything, but adding a dragon is useful. It can be quite random, but yeah, I don't think this will be played inside the deck, but with the random effects, this could be we could see this card, and yeah, why not? I like it. The next card, Vicious Scalehide. That's a good card, I think. 1/3 for 2 mana with both lifesteal and rush. So rush is the new keyword that when this minion is played, it can attack, but only other minions. It can't attack the enemy hero the turn it is played. So it is quite good, I think. The one attack is not that much, but at least it probably won't die just with the turn it's played. And with the lifesteal, it's still useful late game, even if not that much. And yeah, I think this can be played somewhat, and this can be useful and maybe even powerful. Next card is the Spell Shifter. Spell damage +1. Each turn this is in your hand, swap its attack and health. Okay, so the swapping attack and health is a new mechanic. So 1/4 or 4/1. The thing I don't like with this swapping attack and health as a whole is that often it kind of limits when you want to play the card, and since you don't have that much control, it's not like a choose one, it's a 1/4 or a 4/1, and this one you really want the 1/4 for the spell damage. Maybe the 4/1, but it really won't stick, and yeah, I don't see this one played at top level. The next card is Lost Spirit. Death Rattle, give your minions +1 attack. I don't like it. It could be no, you really don't want to play that card. I don't think you want it just to kill it off because you have better things to do. Yeah, no, it's bad. Next card is the Baleful Banker. Battle Cry, choose a friendly minion shuffle a copy of it into your deck. So a 2/2 for 2 as a body is meh. It's not really powerful. And the shuffling a copy of a minion on turn 2, at best you would shuffle a 1-drop, which could be useful like with the mana worm or things like that, but maybe not very often. You wouldn't want to draw a 1-drop late into the game, but maybe with some combos, with copying some useful battle cries, or even copying itself, but it's not that useful. Yeah. Why not? I don't think it would be that fun to see played. Yeah, I don't really know what to think. It depends on the combos you can pull off with it. So the next card is the Witch's Cauldron. After a friendly minion dies, add a random Shaman spell to your hand. And it's a 0/4 for 3 mana. So 4 life, it's sufficient. Maybe it won't die the turn it's played, but it's like, yeah, having friendly minion die, you don't really want to play a card that after that means to have use for this, you have to kill off some of your minions. So yeah, I don't see this card being played that much. So the next card is the Walnut Sprite. With Echo, it's a 3/3 for 3. So Echo means you can play this card multiple times in the same turn. So with 3 mana you can play it once, with 6 mana you can play it twice, and with 9 mana you can play it 3 times. And it is 3/3 for 3 with no other effects. It's not really great, but having 2 3/3 for 6 mana and 3 of them for 9 mana, it's useful, but 9 mana is, it's often best to play something better. So I don't see this very played, except maybe with some combo. But yeah, I don't really like it. Even with the flexibility, I don't really like this card. Next one, the Voodoo Doll. So Battle Cry, you choose a minion. Death Rattle, you destroy that minion. So this card is very powerful with some classes. If you can kill it the turn it's played, it's like 3 mana and something, kill an enemy minion. With like Mage's hero power is 5 mana, kill an enemy. It's not a very interesting card per se, because I don't think it will be played as a minion. It will be played like some sort of spell with a combo. But why not? It's removal for any class. So maybe it will be used in interesting ways, but the straightforward ways are not that impressive to me. Tanglefur Mystic. So Battle Cry, add a random 2-cost minion to each player's hand. Okay, so it's kind of... It has the downside of giving a minion to your enemy, but the upside of getting you one. But then the 3/4 for 3 mana, it's slightly better than 3/3 for 3, but I'm not sure. The thing is, this card depends. If you want to play many minions, it could be useful, but you don't mind your enemy playing minions. So an aggro matchup versus a control one. Nah, no, I don't really think this will be very competitive. Yeah, I don't think this is that good. The downside is too great and the upside is not impressive. So Raven Collar, nice looking guy. So Battle Cry, add 2 random 1-cost minions to your hand. So it's basically the same sort of effect, but with way worse stats, and you get 2 minions to play. I think I prefer this one, even if he's weaker, he gives you more dudes to play, and I think this card is more useful inside of a deck that will benefit for having 3 minions on turn 5, or just play it on turn 3 and you have 1-cost cards to play on the following turns to not have floating mana. But I think it's most powerful if you can buff the 3 minions quickly. So yeah, why not? Yeah, I like this one better, even if it's weaker. I think it could be seen play in some combo. Next up is the Pumpkin Peasant. So 2/4 with lifesteal, and he's a werewolf, meaning each turn he swaps attack and health. So lifesteal, is interesting because this one is not. You don't want to play one of the versions. I think I would prefer playing it at the as a 2/4, because it can stick more and give you more health. It can give you health. Probably in a 4/2 version, maybe your enemy, the opponent, attacks it to kill it, but I think just a spell or something can kill it easily. With 4 health, it's harder to kill it with an effect or a spell, and you would get the benefit of the lifesteal easily. But even then, I don't think it's that powerful. Maybe for some. No, I don't. Even a deck that needs health, that needs healing, I don't. There are enough other lifesteal neutrals that are probably better than this one. Yeah, I'm not convinced. Next up is the Phantom Militia. So this is another Echo for 3 mana, and it's a 2/4 taunt. So this is way better than the 3/3 Echo, because you can use it as a protection in some kind of control deck, and the upside of the Echo is that you can play not a big minion, but 3 multiple minions, up to 3 multiple minions with taunt, which can be useful to protect you, having multiple targets for the opponent. And the fact that you can play it as for 3 mana and it's less powerful, or for up to 9 mana and it's more powerful, I think this is a good flexibility. But then the fact, the just having a taunt, I don't think it is enough. So I wouldn't mind seeing this one played. It would be very interesting to see the strategies involving it, if you play it on a turn or on the next one to have more copies of it, or how do you manage your mana? How do a pro manages his mana, rather? But yeah, I kind of love this card, but I don't think it will be seen that much. Next card is the Nightmare Amalgam. This card is all the tribes, so it's an elemental, a mech, a demon, a murloc, etc. And yeah, it's a 3/4 for 3 mana, so with some synergy it's useful. I'm not sure how it would interact with like draw, like the curator. If you have 2 of these and a murloc, could it draw this one as a murloc and then the other as a dragon and you don't have a beast? Or would it prioritize the murloc and then the dragon and beast would draw the Nightmare Amalgam? I'm not sure, but either way, I think it can be useful, but I'm not sure the multiple tribe archetype exists, and I don't think it would be that good, but yeah, I think seeing cool decks interact with this, yeah, why not? I don't think it's that interesting, but could be. So the next card is the March Drake. Its battle cry is summon a 2/1 poisonous Drake Slayer for your opponent. So it's a strong minion at 5/4 for 3 mana, but you give your opponent a minion. And I think the biggest problem is the poisonous for the opponent. So even if you have a taunt, you can't really protect your Drake, and because you'll lose the taunt. So I'm not sure it's very powerful as is, but it's a cheap, powerful minion, so with some follow-up, it is interesting. But yeah, I don't think if it's in play, I don't think it would be played turn 3, which is a bummer, because yeah, I think big minions with a downside played early are interesting, but this one is maybe too big of a downside early on and not so big of a downside later in the game. So yeah, if it's in play, it probably would be like funny to see it played early and see it die, but yeah, not convinced by this Drake. Next is the Hench Clan Thug. So after your hero attacks, give this minion +1/+1. It's fairly statted at 3/3 for 3, and it can become bigger. So with a weapon, you can attack right away. If you equip the weapon the last turn, you can attack right away and have it a 4/4. Or like with a hero power, like rogues or druids, you can attack more or less each turn guaranteed. But even then, this is the type of minion that's not seen that often. I'm not sure this can be. I don't think this minion can become crazy strong because your hero can only attack once per turn. Maybe there are some Wind Fury weapons, but I don't see them played that often. Yeah, this I don't think we'll see play, but could be fun to see. But not, yeah, I'm not convinced. Next one is the Blackwalled Pixie. Battle cry: refresh your hero power. So turn 3, it's a 3/4 body, which is not that bad, not that great either, but yeah, it's interesting. Turn 5, it's just the same, but turn 7, it allows you to play your hero power twice, which is, yeah, you can. He has two big moments in his life, turn 3 and turn 7. So I like this kind of flexibility in the when to play the card. And yeah, I think it would shine in some decks with the legendary that we'll see soon, that enhance your hero power. But as is, I think turn 7 it's not that useful to have twice your hero power, maybe for some, but and turn 3 it's just mediocre. Like, no, not mediocre, but it's not great. So I think this one just belongs in some very combo-y constructed decks, but it's not that useful in normal decks. So we'll talk about the odd deck when we reach the legendary. So next card is the Witchwood Piper. Battlecry, draw the lowest cost minion from your deck. So this is interesting. You could just have one of these and some big minion that cost a lot and then lots of spells, or just a combo minion that you want to have, like maybe in the Reno Jackson kind of deck in Wild. But yeah, the control you have on the lowest cost minion is quite dependent on the deck construction. And maybe you can keep this card to play it late game to draw some interesting minion, like, okay, I've drawn every 2, 3, 4 cost minion. I have only a 5 cost minion, and it will be this one. So that could be interesting to see, but I'm not sure. Except in some interesting combo, I don't think it would be useful to play as is, because in the worst case, a 3/3 that draws a 1 cost minion is kind of meh. At least it's from your deck, so you know what you'll get. That's the upside. It's not a random one. So next is the Unpowered Steambot. A 0/9 with Taunt, and it costs only 4. So in Standard, I'm not sure the mech is very relevant, but it's a mech. Yeah, we saw him in a priest deck with some combos like Inner Fire and the other one that can make this a 9/9 or maybe an 18/18 or even stronger. But just as is, 0/9 with Taunt is just annoying to get rid of for your enemy on turn 4. But the 0 attack means it's just you gain a bit of time at best, or the enemy spends a bit of mana and the card to destroy it or something. But yeah, it's only useful if you can give him some attack, I think. But yeah, I don't think it's powerful enough as is. Most cards depend on the deck they're in, and this one depends heavily. If it's not in a deck that gives him some attack, it's kind of useless. So Now we have the Swift Messenger with Rush and Werewolf swapping. So 2/6 with Rush, you can, for 4 mana, you can give 2 damage to an enemy and survive. So that's cool. And if it's a 6/2, you can deal some big amount of damage, like a fireball, to an enemy, but it will probably then die. So yeah, I like this card. I like the flexibility, but I don't like the each turn changing, because maybe you want to play it next turn, but next turn it won't have the right amount, or maybe you want to play it this turn, but it doesn't have yet. It's yeah, it's I hope these kind of cards see play, just to see the good moments of, oh, this is the right moment, but he doesn't have the mana, and next turn it will not be the right moment. But yeah, except for this kind of moments, I'm not a big fan of the mechanic. But I like this one. This card is quite interesting. Next we have the Scale Worm. Battle Cry, if you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and rush. And it's a beast. So as is, a 4/4 beast for 4 is kind of in the middle. A bit, I think 4 mana you often have 9 worth of stats, at least. But if you're holding a dragon, you gain +1 attack, so it becomes a good stat line. And rush is the very important part. I think you really want to play this with rush. And yeah, 5 attack right away is good. And with the 4 health, it might probably survive and kill some annoying minion. So I think it's a kind of better version of the Swift Messenger, of the 6/2 version of the Swift Messenger. But you need to have a dragon, so that's the downside. I can see the Nightmare Anomaly being used, like if you have some beast synergy and you just want a few dragons, you can have one that is both a beast and the dragon that you can use to proc this one. So yeah, I think that this kind of dual tribe would be very interesting to see. So here we have the Sandbinder. Battle Cry, draw an elemental from your deck. Yeah. I didn't. It's the first time I see this card, and I'm not impressed, not convinced. The elemental decks weren't that strong. Yeah, maybe it can give some strength to elemental decks. You are more likely to have elementals in your hand, so you can proc other elementals. Yeah, I'm not really convinced by this one, but if it makes elemental strong, why not? Yeah. So here we have the Night Prowler. If it is the only minion on the battlefield, gains +3/+3 as a battle cry. And it's 3/3 for 4 mana in its base stats. And the only minion thing is maybe annoying to proc, because if you play this turn 4, chances are your enemy put something on his last turn. So mostly I don't think you will be able to proc this effect turn 4. So to have a 6/6, you will need to clear the board and then have a 6/6. So yeah, in this case it would be interesting, but I think this card you don't want to play as a 3/3, So you have to wait with it in your hand for the right moment. I don't think this kind of waiting for the right moment is really good. If it's not right, if it's not the right moment, the card is just bad. So it's really good in the good conditions, but I think too bad in the bad conditions, and I think this condition is too harsh for this one. So next card we have the Mad Hatter. Battle Cry, randomly toss 3 hats to other minions. Each hat gives +1/+1. Oh. So it's also the first time I see this one. 4 mana, 3/2. And in the best case scenario, you give +1/+3/+3 to your minions. So it would be 6/5 worth of stats. So this card, if the enemy don't have minions, it's not bad, because you have 3 attack that can attack right away. And you give some health to your minions. But the giving bonuses to your enemy would be quite bad, depending on the situation, but mostly bad. So it's like a win more kind of card. If you are good on the board, you will strengthen your position, but you really don't want to play this as your only minion and the enemy has 3 or 4 minions, or even just 1, because you will... it's not clear if you have just 1 other minion, would you give him the 3 hats? I guess so. So you would be losing if the enemy has minions and you don't have, or just if you are unlucky, you give +3/+3 and you just gain you gain 3/2. So I think the downside is too harsh on this one, but it's fun. Here we have the Life Drinker. Battle Cry, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero, restore 3 health to your hero. And it's a 3/3 for 4. Yeah, it's bad. I don't think just dealing damage as a Battle Cry, at least to the hero, is really powerful. When you want to finish him off, it's good, but for 4 mana you have probably better spells depending on your class. And the heal part means if you just deal the damage and gain a 3/3, it doesn't feel that good if you're just already at max health. So yeah, maybe if you are desperately in need for healing, you would want it in your deck, but I don't think it's that good. It could synergize since it has the beast tag with some interesting beast cards, but yeah, I don't really like that kind of effect. Here we have the Fell Soul Inquisitor. 1/6 with Lifesteal and Taunt. And it's a demon. Okay, so a 1/6 Taunt is alright. Maybe I'd put it at 3 mana, or 4 is a bit on the expensive side, but it protects you and heals you somewhat. So if you gain at least 1 or 2 health from this guy, I think it's good. It's a good protection with some healing, but I don't think it's enough. Yeah. Taunt minions are really... I don't think they are that much play, that much useful. So yeah, it's it's an interesting card, but yeah, I don't think it will be played that much. But yeah, I would like to play with this card. Here we have the Witchwood Grizzly. It's 3/12 for 5 mana with Taunt, but when you play it, you lose 1 health for each card in your opponent's hand. So you could lose up to 10 health to play it, or 0 health to play it. So 3/12, it's what, 15 for 5 mana, and with Taunt, it's a very good stat line. And the losing health, I don't think is that much of a problem. You wouldn't want to lose 10 health, but if you play against a very quick deck, quick enemy that plays his cards and has few cards in hand, this can be useful because it protects you against multiple opponents with the 12 health. Yeah, like Zoo Rush decks, it's a good counter. And the downside is I don't think it's that much of a problem. Maybe you wouldn't like to run 2 of these, maybe just 1 to not kill yourself with this. But yeah, I don't think it's too much of a dead card, even if losing 10 health feels really bad. But yeah, I think it could be played for like depending on the meta. If you play a lot against decks that would empty their hand often, I think this is powerful. This is a good card. So the Rotten Applebaum with Taunt again, and a Death Rattle, restore 4 health to your hero. So 4/5 is not really powerful for 5 mana, and as a Death Rattle healing, I think it's too late. Like, you often want to heal right away during your turn to prevent enemy spells from killing you or minion effects. But if you are sure that you won't play against that kind of decks, you could play this. But yeah, it's very meta dependent, and I don't think the effect is that powerful. So we'll see. Next is the Muck Hunter. So Rush, 5/8 Rush, but you summon 2/1 for your opponent. So you are giving him a bit of stats, but with 8 health you are mostly sure to find a target and have this one survive. And yeah, I think 5 damage with Rush for 5 mana is decent, and the 8 health means you will still have it at the end of your turn, I think. So are the 2/1s that big of a problem? Yeah, 4 damage for your opponent. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this card is decent or good, but it's around there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm that interested to see this one, but at least it's a rush with some downside that can be fun to see when played. And if you get this from a random effect, this is very good. So here we have our first legendary, the Dollmaster Dorian. For 5 mana, whenever you draw a minion, summon a 1/1 copy of it. So 6 health, it's not that much for a powerful effect. So you might not have it at your next turn. So you really want to play this card and then draw a bunch. And 5 mana is quite expensive. You don't have that much draws that would be cheap. So yeah, I think summoning copies of your own minions is quite interesting with some powerful effects, or yeah, but one once depends. Yeah, I think this could make some interesting decks, but I don't think it's enough of a win condition to build your deck around this card. So yeah, I'm not. I don't really think this will be played in competitive Hearthstone. But yeah, well. Next card, the Clockwork Automaton. Double the damage and healing of your hero power. Wow. So with the odd, yeah, this is an odd costed. So with the an empowered hero power, you can, yeah. So there's a card we'll see that can give you the enhanced hero power, and this would double the, like, this would deal, I think, 8 damage to face with the hunter. This would deal 4 damage with the mage's ping. You can have 2 of these, but you wouldn't be able to play the hero power on the same turn. So I think this is like a really good soft taunt. It gives a target on its face, like, kill me or you'll suffer. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced it would be that swingy, but it could make some combos. And yeah, it's a frightening card to see your opponent play, I think. I'm not totally sure about this one. Doubling sounds really powerful, but usually your hero powers don't have that much big numbers, that big of a number. So yeah, maybe only with 2 of these, and then it costs 10 mana and your enemy will probably kill them. So yeah, maybe it's just like a threat that if it's not answer, you can capitalize on it somewhat. But yeah, I really don't know what to think of this one, to be honest. So next we have the Chief Inspector. Battle cry, destroy all enemies' secrets. Okay. So a very meta card. So if secret-based decks are too powerful, this is here to control that, to limit that. But yeah, 4/6 for 5, it's meh, and it really depends on if your enemy plays secrets or not. So yeah, it's there, it exists. We'll see. The Mossy Horror. Battle cry, destroy all other minions with 2 or less attack. So 2/7 for 6 mana, it's not good, but destroying a whole bunch of minions, that's really, really good. So I would like him to have taunt, but even without it, it's probably like, what, a Shadow Word Horror? I think it's 2 or less attack. and a powerful body to accompany it. So yeah, it's decent. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we have one of the two of my two. How do I say? Uh, of the two legendaries, I really like this expansion. So when you start the game, if your deck has only even cards, even costed cards, your starting hero power costs only 1 mana to play. So this is a 6/5 for 6 mana, which isn't that great, but you only have this card on your deck for the start of the game effects. So discounting your hero power is good. So, but the thing is, I don't think this one is worth it, because with only even cost cards, you would want to play your hero power that costs 1 each turn, but even cards can only make even combinations of numbers. So on even turns, you will, if you play your hero power, you will have at least 1 floating mana. So maybe if there are some cards, some even cost cards that give you odd cost cards, you won't have the floating mana problem. But without it, it's like you will at most play your hero power once every 2 turns, which is guaranteed because you can't play cards that have a total even cost, a total odd cost. I think I'm confusing even and odd. I'm sorry, but having your hero power and playing it one every 2 turns is maybe not worth the sacrifice. And I really don't know all the cards and what cards are even and what cards are odd, so not really knowing what you have to sacrifice, I think if the sacrifice is not too big, it could be a fun archetype to see, but I'm afraid the sacrifice is too big, and it would be awkward to play a deck like that. So yeah, I think this one is the weaker of the two. So we'll see when we get there. Here we have the Worm Guard. Powerful 3/11 for 7 mana. Actually, it's not that powerful, but yeah, it's decent. 11 health, kind of really sticky. And if you're holding a dragon, this gets good. It gets taunt and a bonus 1 attack. So the taunt part is the best one, I think, because just a 3/11 can be ignored, and 3 attack, it's not that big of a deal usually. But with taunt, it's quite harder to ignore, and a 4/11 taunt means you either have to sacrifice lots of minions to kill it, or you just use a spell, but there are probably better targets, even more if it's a dragon deck with big dragons. So yeah, I think I like this one, but mostly in its powered form. I'm not sure its unpowered form is worth it, and with this kind of cards, I always like to consider the bad position if you don't have a dragon, because that means if you rely on cards like that with a condition, if you don't have the condition, it feels really bad. So yeah, maybe dragon decks, if there are some good dragon decks there, this is a welcome addition. But yeah, I hope it sees play because he's cool. So we'll see, as usual. Here we have the Worgen Abomination. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other damaged minions. Okay, so I'm discovering this one too. So 2 damage to all other damaged minions. So it is very useful if you have like a whirlwind effect or deal very little damage to enemy minions. So you can deal 2 additional damage, but so the effect I think is very powerful and interesting, and the fact that it has 6 health means it can stick a bit, but 7 mana is a bit too expensive, I think, and costing 7 mana, it's like only for the attack, to have a good attack, and I think this effect makes its attack kind of irrelevant. Even as a 1/6, it would be good, but I think it's too expensive. But yeah, why not? With some prepping up, it can be interesting. But I think you can just lose your own minions. So maybe with healing. But yeah, I think this card depends too heavily on playing around it for an effect that's not that powerful. It can destroy an enemy board, but for 7 mana you can only play one of these. Yeah, I really don't think it's enough. I think it's too expensive of a card, sadly. So here we have the Furious Ettin. Furious? I'm not sure. 7 mana, 5/9 taunt. It's okay. Next, Darkmire Moonkin. A 7 mana spell damage +2. So quite on the expensive side, but powerful effects. With 8 health for 2 attack. So having lots of health is very good for a spell damage card. I don't know what kind of spells you would want to play with that, but spell damage +2 is interesting. And if you can cheat this one, it's very good. Yeah, obviously. So even if you play this on turn 7, it's 8 health for your enemy, and it's as usual quite susceptible to spells and silences and things like that. But yeah, I think if spell damage becomes important in a deck, this is probably one of the best spell damage plus something cards on the expensive ones. Yeah, but I think it's too expensive for combos. So yeah. Okay, a new legendary, Countess Ashmore. Battlecry, draw a Rush, Lifesteal, and Death Rattle card from your deck. And 7 mana. Okay. I'm not sure of the stats of the Curator, but this is a better Curator. You have less control over this. You have better control, because you would want to play Rush, Lifesteal, Death Rattle cards in like probably any deck. There are some good cards with these keywords. Yeah, this is very good. Curator was really interesting and really made you think about how you construct your deck. I'm not entirely sure how it would interact with like the Rush Lifesteal minion that has both keywords. If you have one Rush Lifesteal, and Death Rattle is irrelevant. would you risk drawing the rush lifesteal on the rush draw and then not have any lifesteal minions left? I'm not sure if it's smart or not, but even then, I think if you know how this works, you would play around it. Yeah, and it is a 6/6, so it's not a weak body. So this will probably see play in a lot of decks. Draw 3 cards. Very good. And the next is also a legendary. Azalina Soul Thief. Okay. Battle Cry. Replace your hand with a copy of your opponent's. Hey. Okay, so this was played on the reveal livestream. I think this one is bad, but I'm not entirely sure. So the thing about this replacing your hand is that it would mean either you have bad cards in your hand or you play your cards very quickly. So in the first case scenario, you shouldn't play bad cards in your deck. And I'm thinking of a competitive environment, so you shouldn't. And playing your cards quickly means you probably won't arrive at turn 7 and want to play a card. Yeah, you would want to play a card to replenish your hand, but if you get to turn 7, maybe if you didn't win by that time, you already lost. Yeah, I think this is a meme card and not a competitive one. So yeah, I'm not convinced. But if it sees play, I would really like it, because card hand information has not really been a thing. You have some card that allows you to discover some cards of your opponent, but it's quite rare. And here you can discover your entire opponent's hand and play the cards. So yeah, I would like to see it play competitively, but I don't think it will. So next one is the Splitting Fester Root. 8 mana 4/4, which is kind of really bad. And the Death Rattle is where this card shines. It summons 2/2/2 Splitting Saplings, which then have the Death Rattle summon 2 1/1s. So effectively, this card divides in half, and then each half divides even more. So yeah, it's a fun gimmick, but I don't think it's that powerful. It's a sticky minion, but for 8 mana, I'm not sure you want to play just a sticky minion that doesn't have other things like an interesting effect or taunt or something. So yeah, I don't really think it's that powerful, and I don't think you can really meme around this one. I think Whisper of the Old Gods rotates out, so you can't even resurrect with the Old God, and even then it would be a 4/4 and 2 2/2s, which is not that great. So yeah, I don't really like you, Festeroot. Sorry. Here we have the Gilnean Royal Guard. Okay, so 3/8 rush with Divine Shield. Okay, and it swaps its attack and health. So as a 3/8 with Divine Shield, it's meh, because just doing 3 damage and popping the shield, I don't think is that useful, because if you just need 3 more damage to kill a big thing, it can be good, but yeah, but the where I like this version, this card is the version with 8 attack, because 3 else it would not be enough to survive usually, but with the Divine Shield you can just kill an enemy, 8 damage, bam, kill this minion, and have a 8/3 on the board, which is not bad, really not bad. But again, the werewolf thing, the swapping attack and health, I really think this would be quite annoying to have to play, because yeah, it's just never the right moment, I think, with these cards. So yeah, we'll see. But I think this would make me awkward watching a stream with a pro that has this card, and the enemy just plays a big minion and it's not the right amount of attack and health, and then the big minion disappears, and then he plays another, but it's still not the right amount. Yeah. I really feel this mechanic is awkward. So yeah. Next is the Deranged Doctor. So many 8s on this card. 8/8 for 8, which is decent low for 8 mana. And Death Rattle, restore 8 health to your hero. So we already seen Death Rattle heal your hero, and I don't think I like this effect as a Death Rattle. And I think the same thing about this one. It's not really competitive. It's too slow, and 8/8 for 8 is not that good. So yeah, no. Next is the Cauldron Elemental. So I still haven't seen all the classes cards, but so I don't know if there are new elementals, but +2 attack to your elementals is not bad. The thing is, the effect is cool, but the 8 mana for a 7/7, it's a bit expensive. So 7 health is good for this kind of effect, because you want this one to live, so you can use the attack of your other elementals. But yeah, I don't think it's worth 8 mana. Maybe if you play like a lot of Fireflies and have a lot of elementals, it's like those cards that give attack on one turn, but this one can survive. Yeah, I think they're trying to push the elementals to be a bit stronger, because I don't think they were that played that much in the past expansions. But I'm not totally convinced. I think this kind of effect would be usually better for cheaper, like the Murlocs that boosts other Murlocs or cards like that. So yeah, maybe. And the other problem is elementals. You want to play elementals each turn to proc the bonus for if you played an elemental last turn, and 8 mana makes it a bit late for this kind of combos. So yeah, we'll see, but I'm not totally sold. So here we have my favorite card of the expansion, Baku the Moon Eater. So it's a 9-cost mana at the start of your game, so forget about the 9-cost. If your deck has only odd cost cards, upgrade your hero power. So if you build a deck around this card, you have the upgraded hero power, which is a very, very powerful effect. So as the even cost one, I haven't looked at each class and what cards would you need to sacrifice to make an odd or an even cost deck. But the upside is really big. So I think odd cost cards is easier to manage, to not have too much floating mana at the end of your turns. It means you have some 1-drops, even though the even cost deck would make your hero power your 1-drop. But I think this one is more flexible, it's more powerful with the upgraded hero power, and I really hope we see many classes play around this one and have an odd version of many classes. I think this one, as opposed to the even cost cards, we'll probably see a bigger amount of decks playing this one. Just because it's not as awkward and it's more powerful. The upgrade your hero power, I think it's really more useful than having a 1-cost hero power, that even when you have 10 mana, if you play your hero power on only even cost cards, mathematically you have at least 1 floating mana, which feels bad. So yeah, this one I think is the most interesting card. I really want to see cool decks playing around this, and I hope to be surprised with the even one, because these kinds of decks, as with the singleton ones, are decks that I want to see competitive play. I want to see an even deck and an odd cost deck, at least one of each in a competitive level, and I just hope we won't see only odd cost decks or only odd and even cost decks in the top tiers. I hope we will see some of them, but just I hope it doesn't dominate the meta. And yeah, also I could tell you it's a 7/8 for 9, which is kind of crappy as a stat line, but you really play this card only for the start of game effect, mostly for the start of game effect. And if you happen to draw it, yeah, why not? If you have nothing better to do. But I think you just want to play your hero power, and you don't have 11 mana, so yeah, I think this one might be awkward to play during the game, but it's still a good body. So yeah, I really have hope for this one, and this is really my favorite of the bunch. So now I'll take a look at each class, knowing each of the common, and we'll start with Druid. So the first Druid card I have here is the Witchwood Apple. It's a spell, and it adds 3/2/2 treants to your hand. I think these cost 2 mana, or maybe 1 mana, I'm not sure. So it allows you to have, like, draw 3 cards that are decent-ish. So yeah, I'm not fully convinced by the effect as is, but I've seen the idea of big hand druid as an archetype being a bit pushed in some cards. So yeah, just as is, I don't like it that much, but in some combos it is a very important card. Sorry. So yeah, maybe we'll come back to this one. Next we have the Druid of the Scythe. So choose one. So it's a 2/2 as base stats. Choose one, transform into a 4/2 with Rush, or a 2/4 with Taunt. So I've said in the previous the neutral cards review that I didn't like the werewolfy effect that switched your attack and health, and I really pretty much prefer to choose one. Even if it was just a rush with 4-2 or 2-5 or 2-4, I would prefer to choose one to the changing. And yeah, the 2-4 taunt for 3 mana, I think it's not that interesting. So even with the choose one discard, I think as just one version that seems superior, but having the flexibility is really better. But yeah, even then, this one is not that great. Sorry, man or woman. Next one is the Witching Hour. Summon a random friendly beast that died this game. Okay. So yeah. 3 mana. You would want to summon a big beast. And I'm honestly, I don't really know what beasts Druid have. So I'm really not sure of the power of this card. I wasn't that much of a fan of the big priest cheating big minions with cheap spells, but yeah, maybe now the archetype is more balanced. Is you would maybe need to play the beast before, or maybe just you cheat a beast in your kill off 1/1 beast, 1/1 version of a beast in turn 2 and play this in turn 3, and yeah, you have a huge creature. And yeah, I wouldn't like to see this card play that much. Yeah, I think it's powerful, but I don't like it. I'm sorry. Here we have the Ferocious Howl. Draw a card for 3 mana, okay. Gain 1 armor for each card in your hand. Hello! So yeah, having a big hand is really pushed out, I see. So you can gain up to 10 armor for 3 mana, draw a card and gain some armor, at least 1, up to 10. Yeah, I like it. I'm not up to date if Druid has that much card draw. He has the branching branching road that can draw up to 2 cards for 4 mana. So yeah, I think this can be playable even without the big hand archetype, even if it's a bit expensive. But yeah, with the big hand, this is really interesting, really good. Here we have the Forest Guide, kind of creepy guy. At the end of your turn, both players draw a card. Okay, so more card draw, but this one has more big hand card, but this one has a downside. So okay, so at the end of your turn, so at least you would gain 1 card for playing this one, and it gives a body for your enemy to deal with. Maybe depending on your enemy's deck, he would want to draw, so maybe he won't kill it. But I think this card shines mostly in the big hand druid, sorry, because you having a lot of cards outweighs your opponent wanting cards, because you benefit most for having just a big hand. And yeah, I'll I'll think about the archetype when I see all the druid cards, but this pushes it some more, and just as a card draw, or even a meal kind of thing. So you outdraw your opponent, so he burns cards. 6 health is really good, so it sticks. It's easier to stick on the board. So yeah. Okay, Whispering Woods. Summon a 1/1 wisp for each card in your hand. Okay, so really all the cards so far I think are big hand, except the Scythe guy. So you can summon up to 7 1/1 wisps for 4 mana. It's a bit like the when you unleashed your mana crystals. I don't remember the name of the card. I have bad memory. But yeah, 7 1/1s is crappy. At best, it's a 4 mana 7/7, I guess, but as 1/1s, it's just it dies to hour to area of effect, so a spell that would deal 1 damage to each of your minions, and it just needs a taunt that has at least 1 attack, and you have to sacrifice all of your wisps. So unless we see like give +1/+1 to a minion for each card in your hand, I think this is kind of mediocre. So yeah, maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't like that much, and I don't think it's good. So okay, Gloomstag. I see is a 5 mana with an odd costs synergy. So Battle Cry. If your deck has only odd cost cards, gain +2/+2 with taunt. So a 2/6 taunt is really interesting for 5 mana, but the 4/8 is starting to be good now. It's really good. So yeah, it really depends on the odd cost decks. I'm totally unsure of that, and I don't want to say they will be good or bad, but this strengthens this kind of archetype for Druid with a taunt minion. So would you want a taunt minion when you can gain 2 armor and 2 attack per turn? Maybe, so you don't lose more health, since you probably will be attacking things. So even the 2 armor already protects your health, and this protects you even more. So why not? Yeah, it doesn't shine too much, but it's a big taunt minion for cheap. So yeah, and I really don't think this will be played outside of the odd cost synergy. So Duskfallen Aviana. It's a legendary. On each player's turn, the first card played costs 0. Okay. So the first card means you won't gain its effect on your turn when you play this. So your opponent will benefit from this first and could just kill it on the spot, which is kind of bad. But if you can make use of its effects with like big hand, having big minions you wouldn't mind that much if you can generate cheaper things to play while you wait for having more mana. And this helps you on turn 6 play a big thing and more smaller things. So only if you can make it live, it can be good. But as is, I don't think you will get the good situation. I think you'll just help your opponent kill it, and that's it. So I think Duskfallen Aviana is a no, sadly. But even then, the combos you could pull off with this, I Yeah. Maybe if you can kill the opponent on one turn, but I don't really like one turn kill combos, so I'm yeah. I don't like the card and I don't want to see it played, and I think it won't be played. Bewitched Guardian. So okay, another big hand druid. I think I said big hand priest a lot. I don't know why. Probably because of big priest. So a 4/1 taunt, which is very bad, that gains 1 health for each card in your hand. So this can be up to a 4/11 taunt. No, it's 4/10 taunt because you have to play this one, so you will be left with 9 cards. 4/10 is good, goody good, but yeah, I'm not that much sold on just big taunts. I like to play them, but I don't think they are that useful in competitive play. So yeah, why not? But having this as a 4/1, if you have nothing else, it feels really bad. Having this as a 4/6 is decent. So the best case scenario is good, not that great, good, and the bad case scenarios are really, you feel kind of sad playing this one. So yeah, I don't like it. Last of the druid cards is the Splinter Graft. Battle cry: choose a friendly minion, add a 10/10 copy to your hand that costs 10. Oh, okay. And it's 8/8 for 8, which is what you would expect for an 8 cost card with an upside at the bare minimum. So yeah, you have to have the friendly minion played, and with 8 mana cost you just need to play it the turn before, or you need to have a 2 mana or less minion. So if there are some minions that are interesting to combo with this, why not? But as a whole, just like battle cry, if you have another minion on board, draw a 10/10 minion that costs 10 is some value, and if you manage to get a good battle cry or a good effect, it's good. So yeah, I think this could see play, but it's not that interesting or powerful, or yeah, maybe with a combo, but with a combo I like it less because I'm not sure what kind of combo I want to see with the 10/10. Maybe a rush minion, but even then it's not charge, you can't face with it. Maybe a charge minion, but a charge minion often dies on the turn it's played or the following turn. So yeah, maybe like with a board, the 1/1 board that costs 1, and then you have a 10/10 board that costs 10 with the charge, so you can deal 10 damage to the face directly. But yeah, the thing is you target this one, so the player has at least 1 turn to play around because he knows what kind of minion you have, and that I think is too much information you give for a 10 mana card that uses all your turn. So yeah, I don't like it. Okay, sorry about that. So okay, I said I would come back to the big hand druid. I think the cards that benefit from the big hand in the expansion are kind of meh. They're there. It's good if you have lots of cards, but maybe not that much, and not having lots of cards. So if the deck doesn't work if you don't draw the good cards like the Witchwood Apple or draw a card draw, it feels really bad to have to play those cards just to try to survive, but there are really crappy versions of the card. So this would kind of be interesting, some mix of having big costed cards that just clog your hand and card draw and cheap cards that you can generate more cards out of. Yeah, if that deck is pulled off, I don't think just having like the cards that benefit from the big hand, I don't think are that useful. The most you would get from that is having lots of card draw, and it's mostly adding treants and things like that. Card draw wasn't that pushed, just the draw one card and gain armor. So yeah, I don't think it's competitive enough. So on to the next class. We'll see what we'll get. And it's Hunter. With the first card we have here, the Hunting Mastiff. With Rush, it's a 2/1 for 2 mana, and Echo, which is really the great part. So 2 mana 2/1 with Rush, it's like some sort of spell, deal 2 damage for 2 mana, which is not bad, honestly. And with the Rush, the Echo keyword, it means you can play this becomes a very very versatile card. If you can wait 1 turn or 2, you can have one more of these, and if you need the right moment, if you need to kill off some taunt or something, it's really really interesting. And you don't have to use all your mana for that. So when you have like 6 mana, you can play 2 of these and the 2 cost spell. And if you manage to give some health, they can survive. So that would be good. But if not, it's just like a spell, a bit like the use all your mana and deal that much damage to something. It's use 2, 4, or 6, 8, or 10 mana and deal that much damage that you can deal in packets of 2. So it's a good control card, and I think I like it. Yeah, and the beast tag on Hunter is always welcomed, most often welcomed. So here we have the Rat Trap. It's a secret. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, summon a very very fat 6/6 rat. So okay, it punishes any deck, I'd say. Maybe not all decks would like to play 3 cards in a turn, but I think most decks end up doing it. So I don't think you play this secret expecting it to be procced on the next turn, but the fact that it's a secret makes your opponent a bit cautious. So on an open deck tournament, with the if your opponent knows you have this in your deck, I think it's not that great, unless you have other secrets that you can use to feint or something, but I'm not that convinced. But then again, if you play it in some turn and wait until you can summon a 6/6 rat for cheap, it's an investment. But I think I'm not sure there are many decks that would want to play this. Maybe the to my side decks, I haven't followed if these are competitive, but this would help. But even then, maybe this secret could even never be procced if your opponent just plays 1 or 2 cards per turn. So, yeah, it's mediocre, it's bad-ish, it's meh. I'm not sure. I don't like it that much, I think. Maybe just to make your opponent afraid. And I think this card just has the merit of existing. If you can generate secrets, random secrets, it's the best, but I don't know if Hunter has much of these. So yeah. The Duskhaven Hunter has a very weird bow with blades and has stealth. Each turn this is in your... Oh, it's another werewolfy guy. It swaps attack and health. And it's a 3 mana to 5 stealth, which is not... it's... yeah, why not? Or a 5/2 with stealth, which is still not impressive. And it's not a beast, so yeah, I don't like you, Duskhaven Hunter. Sorry. The Toxmonger. Whenever you play a 1-cost minion, give it poisonous. Oh, okay, hello. So 4 mana to 4. It's hard with 4 health to survive a turn, but 4 is way better than 3. I think 3 is the often you die in a turn, or if you don't die in a turn, you're in a good position. And if you're in a good position, I don't think... Yeah, well, okay, so not rambling, please. Giving poisonous to 1-cost minions is interesting, so your opponent doesn't want to kill your 1-costs with his own minions. And if you can play some rush 1-cost, I'm not sure I've seen one, but I have very bad memory, but the Mastiff was 2-costed. So yeah, maybe with a 1-cost taunt, so it's very annoying, but even 1-cost taunt, who would want to play that? Yeah, I would want to like this card. I like the effect, but I don't think it's powerful enough. Maybe if it was the next minion you play, give it poisonous, or just give poisonous to everyone, but that would be way too overpowered. So yeah, I like the theme, I like the effect, I don't think it's competitive enough, sadly. Okay, and first Hunter Legendary, the Houndmaster Show. Houndmaster Show. Your other minions have Rush. Oh. Okay. So 4 mana. 3/6, so it might survive 1 turn, even if... Yeah, giving Rush to everyone is quite interesting. Rush is not as powerful as Charge, so probably you'll want to play this and some minions to gain control of the board. And if your opponent doesn't destroy it, you can just keep control of the board, because you would have even more things to play, and if he plays some minions, you can just destroy them. So why not? But yeah, then again, Rush in Hunter, you probably want to go face, so... And if you already play in a Rush oriented deck, you already have minions with Rush, so the fact that they drew the Mastiff right there is... yeah, he already has Rush, man. He doesn't need the Houndmaster, so... I don't know. I think Rush minions are already powerful enough, and giving minions Rush it might swing a turn and gain control of the board, and 4 mana is really good because it's not that expensive. So yeah, I think it's a very balanced card, and but I'm not sold on the fact that having rush on one turn to everyone is good, but on the second turn, would you still need it? Either you're in a bad position and the Houndmaster is already dead, or you're in a good position and you don't need rush anymore. You just want to face. But yeah, it's a win more card. It's not even that. It's a you can swing a turn and then win more on this on the next turn. So yeah, it can be strong. I'm kind of not sure as usual, but I think it can be strong. Yeah, 6 health makes it really good. Yeah. Next we have Wing Blast. Deal 4 damage to a minion, and if a minion died this turn, this cost 1. Okay, so 4 mana, deal 4 damage. It's not great, but and the fact that it's a minion, it's somewhat limited. But if you have a rush or something that can kill an enemy minion or even your own, it's 1 mana, deal 4. And I think you often have something else for 3 mana that can kill a minion, so or even minions on the board. So I think this is really playable, and I like this kind of effect. It's not a powerful card that is already like 1 mana, deal 4 damage. The condition is not too hard to do, and the effects being just on minions is not too OP. So yeah, I think it's it's a good card. Yeah, and I like it. I like the fact that you have to think about it. So yeah, good. Dire Frenzy. This card I really like. Give a beast +3/+3. For 4 mana, it's not too bad, but not great. Shuffle 3 copies into your deck that keep the +3/+3. So I am not entirely sure of how it works, but at least you have some beasts that you gain more copies of, which is great. The copies are empowered, which is even better. So like with the Mastiff, with Echo, this can survive, and you gain more. A copy of it can survive, probably, and you gain 3 copies that have Echo, so it's a 2 mana 5/4 that you can play 5 of if you want on your turn, on your 10 mana. Yeah, this is insanely good. Beast synergy, you really have a ton of those with the hunter. So yeah, this is a very good card. I think the only downside I can give it's if it's that is even. It's 4 mana, so you can't play this in an odd costed deck with huge hero power. But yeah, I really like this one. Yeah, one of the best of the sets, and the best of the hunter so far, at least. And if some other card can be better than this one, oh boy. Okay, so Vile Brood Skitterer. 5 mana, 1/3 with Poisonous and Rush. So basically, with Rush Poisonous, you can kill any minion if you don't have a taunt on the way. For 5 mana, So 3 health means it will probably die, most likely if you try to kill some big minion. But like killing off a minion with lots of health and poor attack means you could use it a second time. But even if you can't, 5 mana, kill a dude, yeah, it's good. It's, yeah, I like it. I think it will see play. It's a good removal. And slight downside, it's a minion, so it can be played in the only spell deck, but I don't think the only spell deck is that powerful. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, but not as much as the other one that I already forgot the name. Next is the Carrion Drake. It's a dragon. If a minion died this turn, gain poisonous as its battle cry. Okay, so fat 3/7 Drake. That's not that powerful as a 5 mana card, but a 3/7 poisonous for 5 mana is worth it, I think. And the condition, as I said for the other card, I don't think it's too hard to manage, but this one costs 5 mana. The other would cost 1. So you still have to have some minions on the board or something to do with like more mana, or yeah, I think it would be harder to give the condition to this one than to the other, because you would have the mana anyway if you would play it as a 4 mana. And I'm not sure what to think about the dragon tag. There aren't I honestly don't know if there are other hunter dragons. I think the last legendary is a dragon, if I remember right. But yeah, well, yeah. And I already don't remember. I think there was some neutral cards with dragon synergy, like Deathwing maybe is a dragon, but it's Dragon Lord. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. But 3/7 with poisonous as a whole, it's decent, and I don't think it will be played. It's not enough, except if dragon is good. So, okay, Emeris. I remember this card. Battle Cry, double the attack and health of all minions in your hand. So remember that expansion where there were some cards, like one or two that boosted your hand, or I don't know. Yeah, this is the good version of that. So it can even be played with more hand buff, but yeah, I don't think hand buff is good enough. So doubling stats is good if you have big minions. The thing is you played this turn 10, this on turn 10 or after, and then you can use the effects. So the delay might be its most downside, the most important downside it has, like any end buff in the end. And Hunter doesn't have that much card draw, so you won't have a big hand that you can just double. So yeah, the effect is really powerful. It would be fun to see, and I don't think it would be seen that much. Yeah, I'm sad to say that, because I want to see it and to see like huge things. And if you have the +3/+3 in your hand, some copies of it, and then you double it, it's even more powerful. And if you have the Mastiff, it's now a 10/8 with Rush that you can play multiples of. But I think you won't often be able to pull it off. Hunter has many control cards as much as rush cards, so in a control hunter, but I don't think it has enough card draw. Having many cards in your hand would make this quite powerful, but as is in hunter, I don't think it's good enough. Yeah, but I like it. I like this card. So this is it for hunter, and next is I don't know. Let Future Me talk. Thank you, past me. So now to Mage. So the first card is already legendary one for 2 mana. Archmage Arugal. Whenever you draw a minion, add a copy of it to your hand. So the effect is really good. You have many card draw effects on Mage, and with the legendary weapon you can have this and immediately draw 3 cards and maybe 1 or 2 minions, and have you could draw up to 6 cards with that thing, which is already honestly way too much because you would burn cards so quickly. But yeah, I like the effect, and the 2 cost is interesting because in the same turn you can play this and draw a bunch of cards. But the mix of the condition of drawing a minion, so if you don't draw that much cards and you only draw spells, it would feel a bit bad. If you draw too much minions, you have too much copies and then you overdraw, which also feels bad. So controlling this thing would not be that easy, and I want to see that. So yeah, it's a difficult card. I think it would die on the turn after its play because it's only 2 health, but it can be a very interesting turn where the player has to think until the very last end of the rope. So I like these kinds of moments, and you can probably pull off a lot of combos with like the cards that makes your spell cheaper, or I don't know. I honestly don't even know what you would want to copy with it because it's in your hand, but I want to see it copy minions. Yeah, maybe it won't see that much play. Yeah? I hope it does. Okay, next one is Snap Freeze. Freeze a minion. If it's already frozen, destroy it. So I've seen some memes about this one. It's a better Shatter, which was also 2 mana. But yeah, I don't know if Shatter is in the classic set or what, but I don't mind some power creep in the expansions now that they have rotating expansions. Just hope they would get rid of standard and that their monetary system was better, but okay, we can only hope. Let's just talk about Snap Freeze. It's decent. You can use it to destroy or to freeze, which are 2 good effects. So maybe, I'm not sure you can often destroy a minion because I'm not sure you can freeze that much in the current meta, but since cards are rotating out and everything, maybe Freeze Mage we will see it again, and now it's better. I don't think it's that much of a good card. So yeah, it's just a possible outcome on the random card generation Mage has. Next is the Book of Specters. So this is for synergy with the other, the copy your minions. So draw 3 cards, discard any spells drawn. So yeah, I think it's, if you want to draw a lot of cards, you would want to have spells. Except with the combo where you copy your minions, just drawing minions might feel bad. But yeah, it's still draw maybe 0, maybe 1, up to 3 minions, which is not bad if you can have the cost of possibly discarding useful spells. Yeah, it really depends on the deck building, but I don't like the feeling of playing this and burning cards. So yeah, we'll see. I hope in a tournament we see some pro player playing this and just burning a very important card on his deck and losing because of that. That would be sad and somewhat funny, but also very sad. Next is the Black Cat, which is 3 mana 3/3 with only upsides, which is good. Spell damage +1, which is already not bad. And if your deck only has odd cost cards, draw a card, which is very good in an odd cost deck. So this is decent-ish, as much as spell damage is decent in a normal deck, and this is a very good card engine in an odd cost deck, because you draw a card, that's the main use, I think, of the Black Cat, and it has spell damage which can be used somewhat. So yeah, I really like it. It's good, and it's kind of ugly cute, you know. Please don't kill me in the comments. Next is Cinderstorm. Deal 5 damage randomly split among all enemies. So this is some kind of better, more expensive version of another card. It's I don't like it that much, the randomness of it, and because it's not all minions, it means often with this you want to clear the board, but most often when you play this you just face your opponent for 5 damage or 4 damage and 1 ping to someone that you didn't even want to deal damage to. So yeah, it's, in my opinion, too random. 5 damage is good, but it's I don't like it that much. I don't think it's interesting to play. But in Mage, most spells can be randomly generated, so if it's randomly generated, would you pick it? Yeah, there are some very worse spells than that. Just this is at least deals 5 damage to something, and it's an enemy thing, which is okay. I wouldn't mind picking it in a Discover, but I wouldn't put it in a deck. Next is the very cool Vex Crow. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random 2-cost minion. So we had some kind of minion mage archetype up to now, but this is the total opposite. This is spell mage that generates more minions. So 4 mana 3/3, you really would want to make at least 1 2-cost minion with this for the stats to be worth it. And since it's any spell, a 1-cost spell would still make a 2-cost minion, so the cheap spell in general. So the 2 costs discover a thing and discard it, reduce its cost by 2. would allow you probably to play 2 cards in the same turn for cheap and have this generate 2 minions. But I think the thing I don't like in the power of this card is that random minions are often than not things you really want. So depending on the outcome, you could have good things or bad things, and usually, since you don't have that much control, you don't really want to have things that you don't have that much control on over. So yeah. But I like the art. I like crows. They're cool. And this one's cool. Next is the Arcane Keysmith. Very many Harry Potter vibes with the keys, the flying keys. It's a battle cry. Discover a secret, put it into the battlefield. So I guess this is a mage secret. I really not. I already forget what are the rules about discovering spells, but I think discover a secret would mean of your class. Else it would specify. Yeah, mage secrets are not bad. So there is currently the popular secret mage. I don't know what's rotating out of it. I don't know if this Arcane Case Smith would see play in a secret deck. But yeah, I think it's just too weak. 2/2 for 4. And you put a random-ish secret, discover it, but it's probably, yeah, depends on the choices. I think it's too random and too weak for the randomness. So on a high roll, it's decent, good, and on the bad roll, it's crappy. Yeah. But I like the flying keys. Next is the Curio Collector. 4/4 for 5 mana. Whenever you draw a card, gain +1/+1. So we've seen quite a large amount of card draw in Mage. There is even more with that book that draws minions. And even if you only draw 1 minion with the book, you still draw 3 cards. So it would give +3/+3 to this guy. But 5 mana for a card that gains stats. Yeah, cards that gain stats are not often useful if they are too expensive, because you can't make it powerful on the first turn. And even if you do, your adversary will probably just try to kill it with some removal. So yeah, if it can stick, however, it's interesting. But I think in most scenarios it just become on your next turn, if it's still alive, becomes a 5/5 or a 5 something hurt. So for 5, I think if you really have much card draw, like the Aluneth that draws 3 cards at the end of your turn, and even then, it will probably be killed before you can use it. So it depends. Yeah, I think even in the good situation, I don't think it's good enough. Okay, so new card, Bonfire Elemental. If you played an elemental last turn, draw a card. Okay, not a bad effect. It's a 5/5 for 5, which is decent. So if you don't have the elemental last turn synergy, it's kind of meh. So yeah, I think this is useful in like elemental draw lots of minions synergy, because since you draw lots of minions, you draw lots of elementals, so you can proc this more easily. And drawing cards make you even easier to proc other elementals. So yeah, I think if the archetype becomes strong, it is interesting in that kind of deck. And would I like the archetype? Yeah, I think I like the idea of elementals. They're hard to pull off. The thing is, your opponent doesn't have that much counterplay directly, but yeah, since the effects are not too powerful and the bodies often are, I think it's I think it's an archetype I would like to see, but I don't think it will be competitive enough. So the last mage card is a legendary, and it's Toki Time Tinker. And it's the first time I see it. Battle cry: add a random legendary minion from the past to your hand. Okay. Wow. So from the past, I guess it means the cards that are in wild. I hope so, because if it's just like a pool of random legendary from the past, I think it would be less interesting. But yeah, if it's wild card, I don't like it. I think for a new player, it's already hard enough to follow, not knowing really all the cards because there are lots of it, and if you now have to know legendary wild cards, it makes the game harder to follow for a newcomer, and I don't really like it. But as an effect that gives wild, yeah, no, I think I don't like the idea of having wild creep into standard, and I don't know what this effect would do in wild. And it's a 5/5 for 6, so yeah, no, I don't like you, Toki. I no, you hurt my feelings, man, girl, dude. Yeah. Mm. So yeah, I think Mage is not that much stronger. It's just the new archetype, the new minion mage archetype. That yeah, I will see what it becomes. So onward to the next class. So I've looked around on the internet, and it seems from the past means legendaries that are exclusive to Wild. So even if you play this one in Wild, you'll get a legendary that is exclusive to Wild. Yeah, I don't like it. Bye. Onwards to Paladin. So let's start with Hidden Wisdom. A new secret. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, I never see that text. Draw 2 cards. So I think this has the same downside of the Hunter one, that it's really unpredictable when you will have this. Yeah, where having a 6/6 rat was kind of good in every situation, except when you have 7 minions on board, but even then, do you even need more? Drawing 2 cards is, if it's not the right moment, if you already have too much cards, it can burn cards, but I guess you would play around your own secrets doing that. And drawing 2 cards, it's cool, it's good for 1 mana and some patience. So yeah, I'm not entirely sold because you can play around this, but maybe I think Paladin has more ways of generating secrets. if they are still in Standard. I think so. I think it was on Goro, the Murloc one. I'm not sure what I'm talking about, but yeah, I don't think this will see much competitive play, but if it does, it's meh. It's an effect. It exists, but I don't like it that much. Next is the Cathedral Gargoyle. Battle cry: if you're holding a dragon, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. So, as is, it's a 2/2 for 2, which is not disastrous, but you would want better. And with the synergy, it's Taunt and Divine Shield, it's way better. At least just with the Divine Shield it would be enough. So yeah, in a lightly dragon deck, I think this has its place, because it's not too bad to play on turn 2, and it's useful to play. Yeah, no, it's yeah, I don't think it's that good. Having thought about it, do you really want a 2/2 Taunt Divine Shield? If you can play this on turn 2, it's very good. If you don't play on turn 2, I think it's too late for this card. Yeah, it's too random for me, in my opinion. I think, yeah, no, I don't like it. Sorry, boy. Next is Sound the Bells. An echo spell for 2 mana, give a minion +1/+2. So this, with just +1/+1, would be very, very powerful as a +1/+2. It's not as great as +2/+1, I think, but it's so good. It's, yeah, the echo cards, I really like them. I understand that there are no 1 mana echo cards and no 4 mana echo cards, 4 or more, and no 0 mana, hopefully. But echo boost, echo buff, it's very interesting. So you can just give just enough attack, and you have control. It's not like you give to the same minion. You can spread it around strategically and do the right amount of trading. Yeah, I really like it. You gain control of the board. If you have some minions on the board, you can gain control of the board so easily with this. Yeah, I think the only downside is if you don't have that much mana to play a minion and then buff it with this, if you don't have minions on the board. So that's kind of an inconvenience. But since it's even costs, you could play it using your hero power for 1 mana and then multiples of 2 boosting your little dude. So yeah, I really like it in a good situation. I think it's really, really powerful, but as most buff cards, you need to have things on the board, and you often don't. Mostly, even more in Paladin, because Paladin, when you play against a Paladin, if you know he has buffs, you will try to destroy even the slightest 1/1 that peeks around the corner. So yeah, I think it's balanced though, because you can play around. So yeah, I like it and I want to see it. Yeah, and I wonder what its final power level would be in practice. Next is Rebuke. I guess it's Rebuke. Rebuke. Enemy spells cost 5 more next turn. For 2 mana, I'm lost at word. Just fuck up your enemies next turn. I had a better word for that, sorry. But I forgot. Yeah, it it doesn't counter just any deck, because if you don't need spells, you can just not play the spells. But if you know your enemy will want to play a spell very much the next turn, you can just disrupt it. That's the word I wanted. Disrupt it so much for cheap. So yeah, maybe just a one-off in a deck. Two of these might be overkill. I think it's a high-level card. It would be very hard to know when to play this card. Yeah, I really want to see pro plays with this. When to play, how they play it, if they fail, if they touch exactly the right moment. Yeah, I want to see it play in competitive environments. Next is the Paragon of Light, with very shiny aura around her. While this minion has 3 or more attack, it has Taunt and Lifesteal. Oh. Okay. So I wanted to say it's quite weak as a whole, but it's a 2/5 for 3, which is not that bad, honestly. And if you buff it, it becomes better. So yeah, and the lifesteal is really good. I would have loved if it was just a taunt as a default and it gains lifesteal, or a lifesteal as a default that gains taunt. But yeah, it's still quite good enough, I'd say, without the buff. And if you manage to buff even once, it becomes a really big threat. Yeah, I like it. I don't really know if I want to see it play, but I like the idea. It's very fitting in Paladin. The Glass Knight, legendary that I have not seen yet. Oh, okay. Divine Shield. Whenever you restore health, gain Divine Shield. What does that mean? Restore health. It doesn't say restore your health to this card. So if you can heal anything and give it Divine Shield, it's interesting. Then again, for 4 mana, 4/3 Divine Shield. Yeah, I think 4/3 Divine Shield is already nice to have, but you would need something else. I don't think this is a legendary that has a win condition attached to it, and it's just a sticky, annoying minion. But even then, there is removal for this. So yeah, I'm not sure Heal Paladin is good enough, but if it is, this is a good toy to play with. But yeah, the fact that it's a legendary and it's not that powerful, I think, yeah, more powerful it would be too OP, too overpowerful. But as is, yeah, I really not sure what to think about it. So yeah, I don't even know if I like it, to be honest. It's somewhat immortal, but still can be removed with 3 health. It's not that much. Yeah, I don't know you. I don't understand you. And I'm not sure I want to understand it. Now, next is the Bellringer Sentry. Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. So it's sort of a card draw. Sorry about that. I hope you can't hear it. So, sorry about that. So, Bellringer Sentry, Battle Cry and Death Rattle. put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. You don't have to pay for the secrets. The downside, the thing I don't really like. Okay, so you have control over what secret you want in your deck, and you want to play with this one. But you need to have them still in your deck. If you draw them, you're screwed. And since it's not a random secret, if your opponent knows your deck, it has some sort of leverage. So I really like the random Paladin secrets. And so yeah, it's decent. It can be very powerful, but I don't think it will be. I think it's just decent. And yeah, it's card draw that allows you to thin your deck, which is in itself a good thing. So, and yeah, it's not a big body, 3/4/4/4. So yeah, just for the battle cry, you draw and play a card, which is worth it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still not totally convinced by this card, but why not? It can be good. Next is the very pixelated Prince Liam. Battle cry. Ooh, transform all one cost cards in your deck into legendary minions. So I would think this has synergy with the Bellringer, but in fact no, because this would make the Bellringer weaker. And the Bellringer would make Prince Liam weaker too, because you have less legendary. So is having lots of random legendary minions. Oh, it's minions, okay. Yeah, we don't have that much legendary. Sorry. So, having random legendaries might be too random. I guess it's from any class. Yeah, I think it's just a fun way to have a lot of legendaries in your deck, but I don't think this is competitive enough. Even the fact that you can put many one-cost cards in your deck with the hope of transforming them, but with that kind of deck, if you draw Prince Liam too far into the game, you just had to struggle with weak cards. So yeah, I don't think it's powerful enough. And yeah, it's decently statted, but the effect is awkward. It might weaken your deck. So next is the Ghostly Charger, who seems at least as much pixelated as the Prince Liam. It has Divine Shield and Rush. Okay, so Rush with Divine Shield is very good. It's a 3/4 for 5 mana. I think with the Divine Shield, I would have preferred at least 4/3 to be able to deal more damage. So yeah, I'm not convinced. I think its attack is not enough, and its stickiness might not be the reason you play this. Yeah, I have not much to say about this one. I don't think it's good enough, and maybe I'll be wrong. Who knows? Okay, the last one is the Silver Sword, which is awesome. After your hero attacks, give your minions +1/+1. So it has 4 durability and 3 attack. The most downside thing about it's the 8 cost. So if your opponent destroys it, you can go just cry in a corner. if not, he can go cry in a corner, because +1/+1 to all your minions, even if it's just 1 on 2, it's already quite good with a weapon that just has 4 durability. You can take control of the board with it. You can help your minions to take even better control of the board. With some rush minions, it's even better. And with this, you can push an advantage. So yeah, you can even play it with 8 mana and then play a huge turn. Next, play lots of minions, attack with it for the first time on the next turn, or even just attack with it on the first. Even if you don't give anyone +1/+1 for 1 charge, I think it's still good. Yeah, this is very powerful. Maybe not as 2 copies of it, maybe just 1 copy of it, but yeah, it's a very good card. I like it a lot. Yeah, so yeah, Paladin has more buffs, not too much. I didn't like any of the legendaries, so I think maybe the quest might be playable, but the reward of the quest might not be that powerful. So I am afraid Paladin won't have too powerful of decks, too powerful decks it can create with this new rotation. And yeah, this expansion is kind of mixed for Paladin. I don't see a new archetype. Maybe just massive buff, but it's already exists. So yeah, we'll see. Onward to the next class. And here we have Priest with the first card, which is already a legendary, Chameleos. Each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a card your opponent is holding. This effect is awesome. In competitive play, this is so good. You can know each turn 1 card in your opponent's hand. It's not as it's you can miss some information. For example, if your opponent has 2 of the same card, you just know he has 1. You can't be sure he has more of them unless there is some pattern, but I think it's just a random card. Maybe it could even be the same one twice, or maybe having the same one twice means that he has 2 copies of it. I don't know exactly, but the idea of just keeping this card in your hand and getting information is really good. You could play it and use it to use your opponent's card against itself, but I think just keeping it in your hand and losing 1 hand space for so much information each turn is the best thing about this. Yeah, I have no doubts that this will be played. If affording just 1 card space, it's not that much. Maybe in the early game you can struggle a bit, but I think it's really worth it. I maybe even probably would keep it in a mulligan on the first turn. If I have this in the first turn, yeah, I think I want to see this card. I want to see it, and I want to see strategy play with this. And I would have loved if this was just a neutral legendary. But a neutral legendary with this effect would be too good and everyone would play it. But yeah, I don't really like to see Priest in competitive play. So yeah, I hope Priest becomes more interesting now. We'll see. So next card is the Squashling. A 2 mana Echo, Battle Cry, restore 2 health. So it's a 2/1, which is somewhat decent. Restore 2 health is a very priesty thing to do. So you could heal for 10 with this, with 10 mana. You could use the Okanai Soul Priest and deal 10 damage with this. Maybe you would need some damage boosting. I don't think spell damage works with Okanai health, Okanai healing. But yeah, I saw a deck using this one, and I don't think I like it that much. But I like echo cards, and I like the just for the healing factor. And we're back. Sorry about technical problems. So as I was saying, even just as you can use your hero power up to 5 times this turn. It restores 2 health and it gives you a small body. It's not too bad, but yeah, unless it's in a cool combo using some make restoring health into damage and kill your opponent with tens of these. Yeah, I am not sold on the card. Just yeah, as a whole, I'm very mixed, and I think I'm more to the I don't like it that much. Next is Divine Divine Chant. Restore 6 health to all friendly characters. Yeah, why not? Unless you have many big health minions that need healing, but I think Circle of Healing is, even though it heals your opponents, I think it's still more useful at 0 mana. And yeah, I'm not that fond of healing, to be honest. And this is just, yeah. At least it's friendly characters, so it heals your hero too. So I guess, yeah, at worst it's 2 mana and heals 6 health. Yeah, I don't like it that much. Next. Vivid Nightmare. Choose a friendly minion, summon a copy of it with 1 health remaining. That's good teaming right there. I like it. It's good. Yeah, like with the previous card that I didn't like that much. Now I like it more because you can heal something, and 6 health is better when you have control over. Okay, now I have damaged minion, because if you let your opponent control that, it will often finish off your minions of just not let them die, not hurt them, and attacking then healing might be useful. But okay, let's talk about Vivid Nightmare. It's good, yeah. For 3 mana, you can copy a very powerful effect. For 3 mana, you can copy anything that's interesting. And I guess the summon copy can't attack that turn. So you would need to heal it if it's just for the stats. But I think you would play this for an effect, like the doubling your health and damage, your healing and damage, or that kind of cards. I think then it's good. Or even in worst case scenario, just you make a copy of a taunt, and at least it's 1 attack or 1 spell that has to attack it or cast on it. So yeah, I think it's somewhat versatile. 3 mana, it's quite cheap to have a powerful combo. Maybe Prophet Velen, I think it's 7 mana, so you would, with 10 mana, you can only play Prophet and this, and then your opponent will kill them. But if you have some useful card that you want to copy that doesn't cost too much, yeah, I think I like it. It's an interesting way to cheat a minion that's kind of balanced. Yeah. Next is Quartz Elemental. 5/8, can't attack while damaged. Okay. So 5 mana with an overstated minion, but not really. Because, okay, I think this minion can be full life and good. Can be just 1 or 2 damage shy or being healed, or being full life, so just a hero power, which is still good. 2 mana you can do, yeah, it's decent. 2 mana you can deal 5 damage. Or it's just too hurt and not really useful. So yeah, you would just let it sit for a while if your opponent doesn't finish it off, because 5 attack is annoying to finish off and he doesn't have taunt. So yeah, I don't see this too much played in competitive environments. Could be some kind of mind game of, oh, can I heal it? Can I not? But even then, 5 attack for 5 mana, not that great. It's more a defensive thing where you want your opponent to just hurt it or kill it, so it kills itself in the process. But I think we have enough removal oftentimes. So, but maybe we don't want to waste a powerful removal on this. So yeah, could be an interesting tool. I think it's a good tool, but I don't think it's too powerful. I think it's even kind of weak. But yeah, 8 health, if it can boost it, and then you can inner fire it, so attack equals health. If you can double its health, then it's powerful. But the downside is, as long as the enemy can attack, and you could silence it before, so it's some kind of a better can't attack card. Yeah, I think I hope to be surprised with how this card is used. Next is the Glitter Moth. The art kind of looks like it would be a legendary, but it's not. If your deck has only odd cost cards, double the health of your other minions. Okay. So odd cost means you can heal for 4 each turn. The other one was 5 mana too, so you could have the odd cost deck, and then the enemy would have to deal it at least 5 damage, which is a bit better. But Glitter Moth. So 5 mana is a bit expensive if you want to make a combo and kill your enemy on the turn you play this, and then you inner fire, or you I don't remember which one makes the attack equal to health, but yeah, I don't think you would use it in a combo because it's expensive. But as is, to have big minions with lots of health and you can heal them, and your enemy doesn't really want to kill them and it's annoying, why not? Yeah. I still think I don't like to see Priest. It's just annoying and long, and yeah. Sorry, Priest players. So, Holy Water. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If that kills it, add a copy of it to your hand. Okay, so 5 mana deal 4 damage is way expensive. The other that was 4 mana deal 4 damage, that could be discounted. Even the 4 mana 4 damage was a bit expensive. So here it's really for the secondary effect that you want to use this. Add a copy of a minion. I don't think you'd ever want to do that. No, actually I think you would want to do that to your own minions sometimes, because if you know the minion will probably be killed, or if you have a minion with a powerful battle cry that you attacked with it, or even just you want it back, it's a bit expensive though, but that might be useful. But I think the primary use is just to steal minions from your opponent, so you kill them and you get them in your hand. Yeah, yeah. I think I want to see this used in interesting ways, like killing off your own minions, or making a hurt copy of a minion, then killing the hurt copy to have it back in your hand. Yeah, I hope to see that more than just steal an enemy minion and remove it. Yeah. Next is the Lady in White. So, Battle Cry casts Inner Fire on every minion in your deck. So, I don't remember which one I said before, but Inner Fire. Set attack equal to health. This has some potential. The fact that it is in your deck means you will mostly want to play minions that have higher health than attack. But it seems there is some new archetype that you want to play big healthy minions and then heal them. So this would mean that 5/8 dude would become a 8/8 that can't only attack when damaged. But this would have the downside of if you silence some cards, they would become worse. So I think you'd only play this in some weird deck built around the card that is ultimately the win condition but delayed. The fact that it's 6 cost and not odd makes it synergize a bit less with some things. And I think having just a 1 mana heal 2 might not be that useful to priests. So yeah, some kind of combo, but you can see it coming. But when it's there, you just can put 4 mana 9/9s. Yeah, I think it's balanced at least, because 6 mana before you can have the effect, and then you have to draw the cards. But I don't think you can really play around it. It's like a fun toy to have a powerful to make your deck become powerful, like an annoying deck become more powerful. Yeah, let's see what we get, but I don't think I want to see her that much. I don't think I like that kind of archetype. Next is the Coffin Crusher. Death Rattle, summon a Death Rattle minion from your hand. He's a 6 mana card, 6/5. At least it's a Death Rattle, so you have the chance to proc the summon minion, and you would want to play this and cheat out a powerful minion. But then, yeah, yeah. Even if it summons a weaker minion, it's still 6 mana, decent-ish body. Summon something when it dies. The thing is, it's from your hand, so you lose one card of your hand. So yeah, I think this can be useful in some kind of weird combo that I'm not seeing. Or just, yeah, no, I think just cheating out a big Death Rattle minion is not that powerful. We still have the quest though, which needs priest to play Death Rattle minions. Yeah, I don't. We'll see. I don't think I hate it as much as other cards, or I dislike it that as much, but I don't like it still. Don't like it too much. The last priest card is the Nightscale Matriarch. So we are having a lot of dragons in every class. I feel like. So 7 mana. Whenever a friendly minion is healed, summon a 3/3 whelp. So 9 health is very interesting for this kind of, you want it to stick in the board. And 7 mana means you can use this in turn 9 and use your hero power to have this and the 3/3 whelp, which is a lot of stats for not that cheap, but it's a lot of value. And yeah, 3/3 token is not bad, but would you fill the board with it? Would you want to? At least it's not even legendary, so you could have multiples of it. With Lady in White, it could be a 9/9, which is insane. Yeah, I just on itself, it's kind of dependent, but since you have the hero power, it's not too hard to make it to pull it off. Yeah, maybe in the right deck this could be too powerful. With the dragon synergy, with the Lady in White making it a 9/9. Yeah. I don't want to see it. I think I still don't like priests in this new expansion. So yeah. Let's see the next class. I want to just go on. And the next class is Rogue. So after all that priest hating, I guess rogue loving is on the table. So first class is a 2 mana Echo. I already like that. Add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. Okay. So it's kind of a card draw, but you don't draw from your deck. So the randomness of it is, I think, some downside. I don't remember if there are many cards that benefit from playing opponent's cards. Some cards just that like will make them cheaper or things like that, which is interesting if you have up to 5 cards from your opponent for just one turn. But yeah, you wouldn't never want that. You would want to play this, see what you get, maybe replay it. It's like card draw, but you can repeat it. Yeah, I think I like it. It's maybe an overpowered, maybe underpowered. Let's see. I don't know what to think of it. I think it's probably overpowered if you can manage to find some kind of, when you play a spell, do something, and then you can use 5 of these in a turn. Yeah. With Gadgetson, this is way to draw a full hand in a turn and then burn a card. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Yeah. I want to see it. Next is another Echo card, Cheap Shot. Echo, deal 2 damage to a minion. So this is kind of like the Hunter Mastiff something, Hunter Big Dog. So you can deal 2 damage. You don't have, it can bypass taunts, but you can't buff it to deal more or to have it stick around. So yeah, I like it, and I really like the echo, so you could just remove some minion, some important annoying minion on turn 2. You could remove a slightly bigger or many two medium small sized minions on turn 4, etc. Yeah, it's I really like the versatility of echo. I'm very positive with this mechanic. I like it a lot. Yeah, nothing much to say. It's very good. I like it. Next is the Face Collector. Another echo card. It seems Rogue has lots of those. Battle Cry. Add a random legendary minion to your hand. Okay. It's a 2/2 for 3 mana that creates cards. So would you ever want to play 3 of these? Yes. Would it be worth it? Depends. I'm afraid if you play 3 of these, having 3 2/2s on the board is not that relevant, turn 9 and up. Yeah, I think you it's like the previous card draw, the pickpockets. You would want to play it once with some mana floating, see what you get, maybe play that, maybe play something else, and maybe play it again. But I think the echo is kind of a noob trap. I don't think you would want to play it too often in the same turn. Or you would want to have floating mana. So maybe not play twice on turn 6, but play twice on when you have 9 or 10 mana. So yeah. And as most random things, depends on the pool of what you can get. But usually legendaries often are decent to excellent. So yeah, I don't think this will be seen too much in competitive. Yeah, it's a fun card though. Next is the Cutthroat Buccaneer. Combo, give your weapon +1 attack. Okay, 3 mana, pirates, 2/4. He's good at what pirates do, boost your weapon. He's 3 cost, so odd. So you could have a 2/2 dagger that then you can give it +1 attack, but you would want to play the dagger on the previous turn, or else play the dagger, play something else and play this. Yeah, plus attack on weapons is good, but durability is often even makes it really shine. So maybe in a big turn when you play this and another one, and before these, something that gives you some even more durability. Yeah, I think the combo is kind of annoying too, and the body is not that great. So yeah, I don't know what. Oops, sorry. I don't know what to think of this one. I don't think I like it too much, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, so next card is the cutest card ever, Blink Fox. I like foxes. Battle Cry, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. 3/3, get a card. Nice. It's not great, but it's decent. I really want to see it play because I want to see it. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, I don't think it's that good. Maybe generate tons of cards and do something to cards of your opponent's class. Yeah. Next is Mistwraith. Whenever you play an Echo card, gain +1/+1. Okay. This is very good. It's a 3/5 body that can become bigger. So what I don't like with the things that can become bigger, it's that often they are understated at the start, and you have to make them really big. So this you could play. Well, you couldn't play. What would be interesting to play after you play this? Because drawing a card for your opponent's hand, this one, you would want to play this before anything. Deal 2 damage, I don't think. Yeah, maybe if it's the right time, but I don't think it's that good of a play. On the Face Collector, maybe. Yeah, I think probably you would want to play this card, hope it lives, and then play a big Echo turn. So with the 2 mana Echo, play this on turn 4 to have, or turn 5 to have 3 +1/+1s if it sticks. Yeah, I think I'm talking myself out of this card. I thought it could be better than the self-boosting cards, but it's not that much. It's a powerful threat though. Your opponent would want to kill it. I don't think it would be safe. It would see play. I don't think. Next is Wanted. Deal 3 damage to a minion. If that kills it, add a coin to your hand. That's bad. Yeah. Rogue has some synergy with just playing spells that cost 0, like with the Gadgetzan Auctioneer. That's isn't even Rogue, but it's often played in Rogue. But in the best case scenario, this is deal 3 damage and gain 1 mana for 4 mana. So it ends up costing 3 mana, and it's kind of an anti-overload because you can use the coin on the next turn. But yeah, 3 mana deal 3 damage, not too interesting. 4 mana deal 3 damage and invest in your future, it's a bit better, but still I'm not impressed. I don't think it's powerful enough. Next is Spectral Cutlass. Lifesteal weapon. Whenever you play a card from another class, okay, gain +1 durability. So here we have all the other class card generators shine. You gain durability, which is a very good thing to gain on a weapon. And you can gain it a lot, actually. And it has lifesteal, so it can heal you. Okay, 4 mana is not too big of an investment for a thing that's huge. You can just, yeah, you can do huge combos, like play the Fox on turn 3, gain a card for another class, play this one on turn 4, proc one attack with it, then use a card from another class on turn 5, and then proc another attack, maybe even combo with the guy that gives +1 attack to this. Yeah, this weapon is really good. I think it will see play. At least because Rogue often wants healing. He doesn't has that much. And yeah, I think playing cards from another class, even just if you have a few sprinkle here and there, it's good. In the worst case, you just have a 2/2 lifesteal weapon. It's a bit on the crappy side. So you probably would want to invest on your deck building. You want to have many other class card generations. Also, what happens if your opponent is a rogue? you're kind of screwed. But your opponent, if it has the same archetype too, so mirror matches are equally feel bad for the two players, but if you're just against a rogue that doesn't play cards from another class, you are just weaker for no reason. Yeah. Okay. That would feel bad, but I hope it's not too common. Next is the Cursed Castaway. A rush minion for 6 mana, 5 attack, with only 3 health. It's Death Rattle, draw a combo card from your deck. Okay. So 6 mana, 5 damage is not too much. Having only 3 health, it probably won't stick. Yeah, it really depends on what you want to draw with the combo tag. So I don't know the power of this card. I don't know every combo card that there is in Standard. So yeah, I am really not sure of the power of this card. I feel like it could be a legendary, maybe. But just drawing one card is maybe not enough for a legendary level, power level. But yeah, I think it's powerful. I just don't know, honestly. So the last card is Tess Greymane. And that's the best. That's really I'm a loss at words. Battle Cry, replay every card from another class you've played this game. Targets chosen randomly. So this is random on top of random, which is a bit frightening, but the archetype of playing cards from other classes is really strong. The biggest downside is that you can generate cards that you just don't want to play, either because they cost mana for almost nothing, or maybe because if then you play the Greymane, you are at risk of having a bad outcome because the targets are chosen randomly. But yeah, I hope also the order of the cards is. I hope. I don't even know if it's random. It's maybe more fun to see the just the shitstorm that would happen when a pro player plays this after he's charged with a lot of spells or a lot of cards. Oh, every card. So even minions. Oh, yeah. This is very strong. Yeah. So just minions with no battle cries would just exist then, and even replay every card. I guess it would replay the battle cry because it's replay and not. Yeah, but replay. You can summon a spell, so I don't know how it. I don't know of the from the wording if battle cries would be relevant or no. But to come back with the ordering, if the ordering is consistent, if it's the same order you played, then this would be very tricky to play and very interesting to watch, because we would see some unintuitive plays at first, but because then it would make a better, stronger Greymane play. So yeah, I'm sold. I already liked Rogue, and I like it. I like this new archetype of creating, not really stealing like Priest, even though it's really the same kind of archetype, but creating cards. It's maybe too random for competitive play, but I hope it's just the right amount of random. Yeah. So I'll just make a quick pause and see you in a second for you. And I'm back. So with only 3 classes left, let's go into Shaman with the Zap. Deal 2 damage to a minion, overload 1 for a cost of 0. Yeah, I'm not interested that much. The overload is not too annoying, I guess. You can play in whatever at 0 mana. Oh, what would happen with the odd or even costs effects? Is this an even card or is it both? Yeah, this could be fun, because in an even deck, overloading 1 is not too much of a problem, because if it's on a turn that is an even turn, you can just play your hero power on top to make it even again. Or if it's an odd turn, you can just not play your hero power. Or no, because in the odd deck, I think Shaman might be the best class for an even deck thanks to Overload. Maybe you sacrifice too much useful cards, but yeah. Would you benefit from having a 1 mana totem? Maybe. Yeah. I really think odd cost decks will be better than even ones. So next card is the Witch's Apprentice. It's a 0/1 taunt, which I don't really like 0 attack taunts, but yeah, for 1 mana it's cheap, it's good. And it has the battle cry. So yeah, if it didn't have the battle cry it would be crappy, but add a random shaman spell to your hand. So that's not bad. The stats are maybe low. We have, what was the babbling book, 1/1, 1/3, 1/1? I think I don't remember, honestly. Maybe it's a better one with taunt. It's just a defensive play on turn 1. And the beast tag, is it relevant in Shaman? Probably not. Not that I think of. So it's just flavor, I guess. What does it have in these hands? I think it's a staff, but yeah, not sure. Okay, onwards to Blazing Invocation. Discover a Battlecry minion. 1 mana spell. 1 mana discover something that you can play is nice. Yeah, you can whiff on the discover, but yeah, I think just having it at 1 mana is just, yeah, it's cheap enough. You can have minions. It's yeah, I think I like this card. It really depends on the outcomes you can have, but yeah, you can just play it whenever you have 1 floating mana, and you don't lose a card. You create another card with this one. So yeah, I think I like, yeah, I really like the power level. It's depending on what you can get on the battle cries. I think you can get decent to good things at least. So yeah, the kind of card draw discover, yeah, it's a good amount of random too, in my opinion. Next, the Merc Spark Eel. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Battle cry: if your deck has only even cost cards, deal 2 damage. It's decent. Would you want to have even cost cards? It's better in Shaman because of the you can overload. It's still a good body, 2/3. And you would probably only want to play this in an even cost deck. and 2 damage. It's not too bad, but I don't think the archetype is good enough, honestly. Yeah. I want to see some even cost decks, but I don't see them. I don't see them. Too awkward for me. Now, next is Ghost Light Angler. 2 mana Echo, which I already like, and it's a 2/2 Murloc. I don't remember, was Shaman the quest with the Murlocs? I think so. So this could help, having some Murlocs. Just a 2/2 Echo is good. I like that you can just fill the board. As a Shaman, you probably want to do that. It's not too powerful. It's not a 2/3 or a 3/2. And yeah, I think this is a good play. You can just put like 3 of these and maybe buff something, or just 4 of these, 3 of these, maybe even 2 of these or 1 of these is good. 1 may feel a bit too few, like just for the 1 dude. I don't think you would be desperate enough by turn 2. But yeah, and with Murloc synergy, this can be interesting. Maybe the war leader was nerfed too hard. I don't know, but I think this is a good card with many uses. Like fill the board is a Murloc, fill the board with Murlocs, just have something, and it's 1 card, create many dudes. Yeah, I like it. I really think this concept is a good card with very versatile uses in many decks. And here we have Hearthstone Might. Give a minion +2/+2. If it's an elemental, add a random elemental to your hand. Yeah, Shaman have the Kalimos elemental, I think, and the Servant. Not even sure. I honestly don't know what kind of elementals are in Shaman. And just give a minion +2/+2 for 2 is not that bad. Even since you can generate random Shaman spells quite easily. I think, yeah. Maybe in an elemental deck, but even then, yeah, I'm not really sold. Depends on the power level of the elementals, but I don't think they're good enough. I think that if an elemental was played last turn is too awkward to use and too delayed. Yeah, but I would want to see new things. So yeah, if it's good, I wouldn't mind it. Totem Cruncher is he's adorable. Taunt 3/2 2/3, sorry, 4 mana. Battle Cry. Ooh, destroy your totems. Gain +2/+2 for each destroyed. Okay. So a 2/3 taunt for 4 mana is way too expensive, but if you can give it just 1 totem, it's a 4/5 for 4 mana. It's okay, but with 2 totems, it's starting to be good. The thing is, would you want to destroy your own totems? I'm not sure. You would need to destroy a lot of totems. Thankfully, there are some good totem generating cards in the last expansion, but I don't think this is good enough because the sacrifice is a bit too. Yeah, I know you gain more stats than you lose, but you lose the effects that you potentially would want. And I mean, at best, you gain 2 stats, I think. Because totems are like 0-2, 0-2, 1-1, 0-1, 0-2, I think. So you would gain just 2 stats. Yeah. I don't think this is good enough, honestly. Bog Shaper. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a minion from your deck. Oh, yeah. A bit expensive at 7 mana, but I can understand since the power, the effect is so powerful. So 8 life, it's good. It might stick around. You could just play this, play a cheap spell, even the 0 mana overload one, and draw some minions. Depends on what kinds of minions you want. We'll come to the legendary that I think likes when you play minions, so this is a good synergy, a back and forth. We'll come back to this one. Next is Agatha the Witch. So I don't have the effect here, but Battle Cry for 8 mana, deal 3 damage to all minions. Even your own, which is some kind of a downside, but yeah, that's a cool effect. And the hero power is Bewitch. Passive hero power: after you play a minion, add a random shaman spell to your hand. So this is great. This is, you play Bog Shaper, you play Agatha the Witch, and then you can just cast a spell to gain a minion, play a minion to have a spell, etc., etc. The only problem is you need to get minions from your deck, and you might thin your deck a bit too quick. But I think if you at that point, you just won. And yeah, just this effect, even without the box shaper, is like, yeah, do a thing that's good, playing a minion, gain a spell, so you generate cards. That's awesome. And the last shaman card is Shudderwalk. So this card is awesome. I really like this kind of concept. Battle Cry, repeat all other battle cries from cards you play this game. So cards that become stronger because you played other cards, I really like it because they gain power the more time passes. So it's not, I don't think this is a really strong turn 9. It can be, but I don't think it is. It depends, if you're very lucky it can be, but yeah. It's the same thing with the rogue card. It's the same thing with was it Linessa, the Paladin card from the previous one. And I think this one was randomized, so you don't have to play your battle cries in a specific order, but you can, with like having some battle cries proc from the Shudderwalk in a good order is often better. Yeah, I really want to see some turns where the player just throws it on the board and it does its thing, and maybe you just gain a huge advantage, probably. And yeah, 9 mana means you spend almost all of your turn. 6/6 means it's not too powerful as a base, but you can double it with the Sarna Chen Gang. You can probably do other cool things. Yeah, I like it. And there is some support for it with the Discover Battlecry minion. which was already a good card alone. So yeah, I hope to see it. I hope it's not too random, and I hope Battlecry Shaman becomes a good deck. Yeah, onward to the next. And here we have Warlock with the Witchwood Imp. 1/1/1, 1 mana, 1/1. Stealth, Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +2 health. So, why not? The thing is, it's a demon you wouldn't want in some demon synergy decks because you don't want to play it with the Cabal Lackey. You don't want to summon it again with the Warlock hero card. But if you don't have that kind of synergy, it's just some somewhat decent 1-drop that can probably deal damage. Nah, it's bad. Nah, I don't like it. I think it's not that great. It's just a 1/1, and yeah, giving some health to a friendly minion on turn 2 is decent, but yeah, nah. I don't think it's good enough. Dark Possession. Deal 2 damage to a friendly character, discover a demon. So probably some kind of life tap, but instead of drawing you discover a demon. You could want to use it on your own to proc a death rattle, for example. You could use it before using that life drain, or where you kill your own minions to gain life. Yeah, I don't see that much uses because discovering a random demon might be not great in most cases. But yeah, maybe it finds its way. But I'm not. It's not that interesting, and I don't think it's that powerful. Maybe just to have the spell stone, but even then there are better ways to do that. So yeah. Curse of Weakness. Echo, 2 mana Echo. Give all enemy minions -2 attack until your next turn. So why does it have Echo? Okay, it's interesting if you just reduce attack drastically, but since it's only until your next turn, it means yeah, you can have a turn to find a better answer for the enemy board, but why not do it the first turn? Maybe you just want the enemy to play some other minion and then do some board wipe. But yeah, I think it's a bit too expensive. I think you would never play that 5 times, and just once is enough. Maybe I think once might be good. Maybe 2 mana is too expensive. Maybe it's good. Maybe play twice if you really want to reduce your enemy attacks, but just for 1 turn. So yeah, if there is some synergy with, like, if you kill an enemy with 0 attack, but even then you would have to spend so much mana. Yeah, I'm perplexed. I think this has some uses, but not as much as other 2 mana echoes. I think it's my least favorite 2 mana echoes for now. And here we have the Rat Catcher, who looks like a Warlock Rogue. Rush, 2 attack for 3 mana. Battle Cry, destroy a friendly minion and gain its attack and health. Okay, so the Warlock things of playing cards and then eating them is fun. I guess if you have like a I don't know a hurt minion that has a damage minion that has only 1 health, would it gain 1 health or the maximum health that minion is supposed to have? I would say 1 health. So you can't even abuse it on a big minion. It is useful to proc, like if you have that big Void Lord and you just want to eat your own Void Lord to have many Voidlings. I don't remember, and just gain a lot of stats. With Rush, you can deal 5 damage, and with 11 health, you are almost sure to live through your attack. So yeah, some kind of combo potential, but yeah, it's a Warlock card. I really don't know. As is, it feels a bit bad, but not too bad, because you regain the stats, and the Rush means you don't lose the you can attack with a card and then re-attack with these stats, with hit stats. So yeah, we'll see. I really don't know how to evaluate these Warlock cards. Dusk Bat. If your hero took damage this turn, summon 2 1/1 bats. I don't like it, I think. Yeah. 2/4 for 3 mana is meh. And just summoning 2 1/1 bats is interesting if you really want a large board on a Zoo Warlock. But yeah, what would you do with those bats? I don't think it's powerful enough. I don't think it's good. Yeah, I'm not sold. But yeah, Warlock, it's probably the class I know the least. Blood Witch. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to your hero. Okay, this already makes the Dusk Bat, easier to use, because you don't have to spend mana to have damage on your hero. And it's an overstated minion, but slightly 3/6. So the downside, I think, is a bit too harsh as is. But in a Warlock, you would like to have your spellstones charge. You would maybe want to have, if your hero took damage this turn, conditions fulfilled. So why not? I don't think Duskbat is worth it, but at least it enables cards like that. So yeah, not sold. I don't think 3/6 is that overstated, that much power. So yeah, depends on if you can use that downside as an upside. Fiendish Circle. Summon 4 1/1 imps. Yeah. Get dudes on the board. That's cool. 4 mana. I would have preferred Echo 1 mana summon a 1/1 imp, but that would be a bit too overpowered. For 7 mana you can just fill your board. But yeah, I think it's balanced. I think it's good. I like it. Deathweb Spider. Battle Cry. If your hero took damage this turn, gain lifesteal. So it seems the damage taking is a new archetype that is being somewhat pushed. At least 3 cards that play on it, and many other cards that cost mana. Gaining lifesteal in a 4/6 is great. I think Warlock is the class that likes to play with its life total the most, so having some lifesteal when you are taking damage, maybe each turn with the other do that. Yeah, it's good. The thing, if you don't have the battle cry fulfilled, it's kind of mediocre, decent, subpar. I'd say subpar. But with the lifesteal, it's great. Next is Glinda Crowskin. Minions in your hand have Echo. So that's awesome. Giving Echo to cards is awesome. I like it a lot. Giving Echo means you could play on turn 10 this and 4 1 cost minions. That's not too great. 7 health mean you could play this and the next turn play some Echo. But yeah, maybe it's a bit too powerful. So your opponent, if you're already on turn 9 or more, your opponent will answer that. But I would like to see the turn in some tournament where someone plays it, it leaves, and then boom, many charge minions were played and you were dead. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Lord Godfrey. The other... No, Godfrey. Godfrey. The other legendary. Battlecry, deal 2 damage to all other minions. If any die, repeat this battlecry. Whoa! So that's all other minions? Which is kind of the Defile. I don't remember how much this card costed. 3, 4? Maybe 3? And it's a Defile. It's a more powerful Defile, more flexible with the 2 damage. And yeah, it repeats indefinitely until the condition is not fulfilled. And you have a minion at the end of the explosion. So maybe it's too late, it's a bit too expensive, but if you can survive until that, I think it's very good. And that's a good swing turn. You put something on the board, you destroy your opponent's board if it's the right amount of life, and it's easier to set up than Defile. And yeah, I think seeing Defile, I don't remember having seen that much Defile setting up, but it's something I like. I like the idea of it, and I like the idea of Lord Godfrey. So next is what our last? Yeah, next is our last class, Warrior. And the first warrior card is the Town Crier. 1 mana, 1/2, battle cry, draw a rush minion from your deck. So this is a great enabler. I think I remember some good rush warrior cards. And yeah, having a rush as the warrior archetype is interesting. I think they already have many archetypes with the enrage, the taunts, the things. But I think, yeah, rush can be fun, can be interesting. And the 1 mana, 1/2 is a decent stat line since it draws you a card. And yeah, 1 mana draw a card, it's very cheap. So all around, I think I like it. Depends on what the rush, if the rush is interesting or not, but I think it will be. So the Red Band Wasp, already a rush, has +3 attack while damaged. So this is a 2 mana 1/3. that gains attack. So since it's rush, you might pull off the bonus attack, or if you play this on turn 2, you can have a 4/2 at best at the end of the turn. Or if you play this later, you can have some whirling effect and have this 4/2 minion that can maybe destroy an enemy minion that has been weakened by the whirlwind effect with 4 attack. Yeah, it's decent. I'm not sure it's good enough because the enrage mechanic is and I'm back. I had some technical problems, multiples of them, so this is the second time I'm recording this part. So yeah, I already seen every card because yeah, I don't know if I said that, but I discovered most of these cards right today because I didn't really follow the reveals except for the card stream reveal stream yesterday or the day before. I don't remember already. So yeah, back with the red band wasp. I don't remember what I was saying about it before my XSplit crashed, and then I had to recover the 1 hour file that hopefully I could, and then this 10-minute file that I didn't activate the microphone, so yeah. Anyway, I don't think Red Band Wasp is good enough. It's too hard to pull off to have the 4 attack, and it's not that useful to have a 4/2 for 2 mana rush, because you would need more than 2 mana and another card. So yeah. The Warpath is, I'd say, a very good card. It has some synergy with other cards we'll see later, but also just you can deal up to 5 damage to all minions. It means yours, but that can be an upside. But also dealing lots of damage to your enemy minions, which is good. You can use it in combination with many things like execute, like sleep with the fishes. So you do a Warpath, do a sleep with the fishes, and if there are some stragglers with 1 HP or 2 HP, you just Warpath once or twice more, and hey, here we go. Yeah, I kind of rushed that one. Next card is the Woodcutter's Axe. 2 mana, 2/2 weapon. I think Warrior kind of needed this kind of stat line, or at least mana costs. Death Rattle, give +2/+1 to a random friendly rush minion. So, as I said, the fact that this is a Death Rattle is one of the best things, because you have lots of control over when you give it, and even though it's a random rush minion, you can make so you have only 1 rush minion, and if you are more than 1, I think you are happy to give the +2/+1 to any of the 2 or any of the 3. So yeah, all around, I really like this weapon. You can invest 2 mana to then have a big rush minion later on. So yeah, I know this was lost to the eons, but I really like the rush archetype on Warrior. So I said that, but Rabid Worgen is maybe the least interesting of them. It's just, I have rush. Yeah, it can be buffed, it can be used, but a 3/3 for 3 rush maybe is not good enough. I think it will be overshadowed by way better cards. Yeah. Too much vanilla. Just rush is not enough. Next is the Militia Commander. So this is a very better rush minion. For just 1 mana more, you have a 5/5 rush when on the first turn, and if it survives, you have a 2 something minion that can exist on the board. And just for the 4 mana 5 damage, it's good. It's not as great as a fireball, but it's really good to control the board, and I think Rush Warrior is what's all about. And once you control the board, you still have a minion with some attack, and if you want to just slam the face or just continue to kill the opponent minions, I think Militia Commander is a good rush minion, a really great one. Next is the Festerroot Hulk. So after a friendly minion attacks, gain +1 attack. And I don't like it very much. 7 health is good, because it only gains attack and not +1/+1. I think the condition of having friendly minions attack, if you have enough of them attacking, do you want for 5 mana to play a 2/7 that maybe at the end of the turn is a 4/7, and then maybe you play a rush minion or something and it's 7/7? Yeah, it could be interesting, but I think it's just too much of a target and too slow. I would like to give this rush, but you can't. At least not in Warrior, that I know of. Yeah, I think the dream of having this very powerful is too unlikely. And if you're already winning, there are probably better cards that could be used when you're losing. This can't really be used when you're losing. A 2/7 for 5 is not good enough. Next is Darius Crowley. So I really don't know about this one. It's a rush minion with 4/4 for 5 mana, and after this attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2. So this one can become powerful, and the fact that it heals itself for +2 health is useful. But I think, yeah, it's very controlling. I don't think it's even good enough at that. Because for attack, you have to set it up so it can kill a minion, and then it becomes a bit powerful. But I think you kind of want to have the option to just go nuts and play a rush minion and then let it die. Just let it kill himself on a big minion and kill that big minion. So you want to keep him alive, and he starts off quite weak. So unless the buffing, like the axe, the woodcutter's axe, is enough to give this beast, this man beast, a good start, I'm not convinced by this one. I think it's just too weak, and I don't see how we could buff it without making it too strong, because one of the downsides is having to kill a minion. One of the other downsides is you have to attack a minion. Yeah, I don't see how you can just not having to kill a minion and having this balanced. And I really wonder if you kill the enemy hero with this, would it gain +2/+2 because of bad code? I think so, but I don't know. Next is the Deadly Arsenal. So 6 mana, reveal a weapon from your deck, deal its attack to all minions. I think this sounds powerful, this sounds epic, but it probably is very bad in practice, because it's quite expensive at 6 mana, and do you really want to play that much weapons to guarantee this is not a dead card because you already drawn all your weapons? And do you really want to play a very big heavy weapon that has lots of attack but maybe it's not that good once played, just to have this big attack that clears the board? Depends. I don't think this will be seen in the control warrior that would like to have some big destroy all the board, but I think just brawl is just straight up better than this. Even played, I think it will be too often that it's just a dead card. You already drawn your weapons and that's it. So yeah, I don't like it that much, and I think it's not competitive. And the last card of the warrior, also the last card of my reveal, is the Black Howl Gunspire. It's a 7 mana 3/8 that can't attack. However, when it takes damage, it deals 3 damage to a random enemy. So this is really great in combination with the Warpath, mostly the Warpath and any other whirlwind effects, because if it sticks, and it might with 8 life, you can proc up to 15 damage with this. If you have enough to clear the board before, and then play this, and then maybe rush minions to just clear a bit more, like a cheap rush minion, and finish off any opponent, you could do with 10 mana up to 15 damage to face, which is huge. Or you could just do maybe 12 damage with the Warpath, which is already really great, or 9 damage, which it's still good. It's still you're still mana efficient, and I think this is a win condition. It might be a bit hard to pull off because enemies can just use a removal spell straight up, but against a minion based deck, this is very very strong, a bit too much actually. So yeah, that's it for my card reveal. I hoped you like it. Thank you for staying until the end, and continue on your life. You can like if you liked, you can dislike if you hate my face that you didn't even see, and you can put a winky face on the comments, or I don't know, something fun. Yeah.